Hi, beautiful people. How are ya? I hope you're having a great day. In this video, I will describe the brain. We'll look at each section and discover how the brain looks and functions in fibromyalgia patients. There are three main parts of the brain: the forebrain, which includes the cerebrum and cerebral cortex, the brainstem, and the cerebellum. Neurosomas are the round central cell bodies. Axons have long stems that connect neurons together, are wrapped in myelin, a protective coating. It's made up of about 14 to 16 billion nerve cell bodies and their dendrites. This is the part that looks wrinkled because of the many folds and grooves. It is made up of four lobes: parietal, frontal, temporal, and occipital. And white matter contains mostly axons. In the cerebrum is a right and left hemisphere. They are attached by a bundle of nerve fibers so they can communicate with each other. So that white matter looks white because the nerve cells are covered with myelin sheaths. Its function is to control the voluntary muscle movements of the body and contains both cell bodies and nerve fibers. Now let's get to the brainstem. The brainstem has three parts: the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla oblongata. The brainstem looks like a flower stalk or stem, thus its name. The midbrain is located at the upper part of the brainstem. It sends and receives information associated with vision, hearing, motor control, sleep, and wake cycles, and alertness and temperature regulation. The medulla oblongata is the lower part of the brainstem. It's the control center for breathing, blood pressure, and other involuntary autonomic functions. The pons area relays signals from the forebrain to the cerebellum that deals with sleep, respiration, swallowing, bladder control, hearing, equilibrium, taste, eye movement, facial expressions, facial sensation, and posture. The spinal cord is connected to the brainstem. This area is essential for sustaining life. It contains both white and gray matter. In fibromyalgia, there are abnormally low levels of neuroinflammation related activity in the medulla oblongata compared to healthy people. And as a reminder, this area relays messages between the brain and spinal cord, regulates cardiovascular and respiratory systems, as in our heart and lungs. It explains why there are so many of us with autonomic issues related to dysautonomia. Together, the brainstem, cerebellum, and forebrain controls digestion and sleep patterns, which may explain our issues with IBS and other digestive issues like GERD or inflammatory bowel disease. And sleep issues normally found in fibro, like sleep apnea, insomnia, or restless legs, may be explained by this neuroinflammation. Normally, prior to the knowledge about neuroinflammation in chronic pain patients, neuroinflammation was only found in people with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. With neuroimaging today, they can test even the slightest changes in our brain that involve inflammation, including those with ME/CFS and fibro. The cerebellum. The cerebellum is involved in motor movement and coordination. It's part of the hindbrain. It lies between the brainstem and the cerebrum. It plays an important role in sensory perception, motor output, balance, and posture. The cerebellum can be separated into 3 lobes: gloculonodular lobe, anterior lobe, and posterior lobe. The medial zone of the anterior and posterior lobes constitutes the spinocerebellum or the paleocerebellum. The cerebellum has the appearance of a separate structure attached to the bottom of the brain, tucked underneath the cerebral hemisphere. It's located at the back of your head, just above and behind your spinal cord, and connects to the brain. Your cerebellum is only about 10% of your brain in terms of how much space it takes up. However, it holds about half of all the neurons in the entire body, and it's pinkish gray. Cerebellar cortex is a layer of folded tissue containing most of the cerebellum's neurons. In fibromyalgia, dense connections have been found within the cerebellum in fibromyalgia patients. Think higher sensory perception and potentially difficulties with motor output, balance, and posture. This was statistically different from healthy controls and was statistically correlated with pain sensitivity. The number of neuronal fibers was no different compared to healthy controls. However, healthy control subjects showed more dense connections in the frontal lobe. Cerebellar involvement, the cerebellum, in nociception, which is that sensation or perception we get of pain, and chronic pain syndromes, has been implicated by prior research and altered white and gray matter. So more gray matter volume and white matter density in the cerebellar and frontal cortical regions has been shown to contribute to clinical pain and depression, primarily disrupted pain processing. However, a subgroup of fibro patients with pronounced pathology in the peripheral nervous system shows structural and functional connectivity in the brain in fibromyalgia and small fiber neuropathy. If your pain begins in your feet and has moved upward, talk to your doctor. Just remember that autoantibodies have been found in fibromyalgia. I've done several videos on these. And if you could like this video, gosh, it helps the YouTube algorithm the more likes I get. I hope you learned something. I certainly did. I send you gentle hugs and support. Love you.